So obviously there's the financial planning aspect of it, which we can help with, and that maybe can bring some clarity and ease into what needs to be done to achieve those type of goals. But the other bigger piece of it is something we don't really talk about often, and that is the mindset, right? Being able to take the leap, trust that it's going to work out, and like trust in your ability to be able to navigate the ups and downs that come with growing a practice is also a big piece of that as well. And what we do is we, coach our clients on like expectations on the range. It could go sideways, it could be great. What is our risk? How do we mitigate? How do we make sure we have the right cash flow in place so that if things don't go according to plan, we're not stressed out about it, we can give it time to work. And then making sure that you can sleep at night is really our biggest thing with clients. Is if you can't sleep at night because you're taking this risk, maybe not the right time, maybe we want a different plan, a different timeline. Because at the end of the day, as a business owner, you need to be able to provide for yourself and your company. And what I always tell clients is like, if we decide to take a risk and it's measured because we've done the scenario planning, we know what the plan is, and it doesn't work out, we could always go back to doing what we were doing before. And that's, I think, an overrated skill of like, what worked before, so we could just go back to it if worst case scenario happen. And what it tends to happen is worst case scenario doesn't really happen. And then they end up better off. And they're like, why didn't I do this 10 years ago? That's more what happens, because with a good financial plan and good accountability, they're able to take the steps to succeed in that new growth. But again, setting realistic expectations, because growing is hard. And like, if anyone tells you otherwise, they're lying. Growing is hard, and you're going to have to take and build a lot of systems and things in place, especially if you want, when they want to sell this thing, because nobody wants to buy a job. Nobody's going out there and say, hey, Ryan, I'm going to buy your day job, and then I'm just going to pay you a lot of money to have your day job because they can just go get a job. They're buying a fully functioning company with systems, employees, value, assets, and ideally a CEO pay that's worthy of them taking over for you in the company, especially if you're not as owner dependent in what you're building as a company.